Good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, we're going to do a bald fade with the number 5 on top. Not just a regular bald fade, I'm going to be doing a mid fade which wraps around the occipital bone. If you don't know what that is, I'm going to be showing you in a bit. But sit back, grab some popcorn, and watch as I educate you on how to do this haircut. So let's get started. As I mentioned, I'm going to do a number 5 on top, so go ahead and grab that guard, and we're going to go front to back, side to side, diagonally. We're just going to, we're going to comb, we're going to cut, we're going to make sure everything's all even. And make sure you take your time. Don't rush this process here. Take your time, making sure everything's even. And to save time, we do not want to come back unless necessary to this step, but again, I'm a big believer in just getting everything done right away. So as you can see, we're going around the occipital bone. As you can see by the little picture there, it's the bone right at the back of the skull, and that's where the mid fade is going to land. You want to make sure you take the 0 and cut at least half an inch to an inch, making sure it's all even, preparing it to fade later. But again, take your time, no rush. Make sure you master these steps and eventually the speed will come. Like the picture there, we're gonna go around the occipital bone. After we're finished with the 0 here, once it's nice and even, we're gonna open the clippers all the way, lever open, and we're gonna go up about half an inch, making sure to flick the clipper at the top because it'll make it easier once we transition to that next number. So do yourself a favor and don't use the clippers flat. Flick out right at the top after you maybe cleared about half an inch. And yeah, we're gonna do that all the way around. And again, we're taking our time, and I preach that because I don't like to go back and waste time and do it later. Let's finish what we got to do right now, and let's move forward. Once we finish with the half or the fully lever open, I'm going to be messing with the lever, and we're going to go about a quarter of the way open, half the way open, and we're just going to go back and forth to remove that initial guideline. So don't get stuck on just one number. Make sure you go throughout the lever to do what you got to do to remove those numbers. Especially if you want that crispy haircut, just take your time. And again, the speed will eventually come. Right now, just focus on finding a system that works for you and sticking with that system. And eventually, with time, it's only naturally going to progress. You're going to get faster. You are going to become a master of your craft with time. Give yourself time. Be patient. Be patient. Once I finish with the clippers here without the guards, I'm going to slap on the number 1 guard, and we're going to create another layer on top, keeping it at half an inch. And then after that, I'm going to be working my way up and down. As you guys are watching this video, please feel free to leave some feedback. Let me know if you guys like this style video, or if you guys want me to do anything different. Feel free to hit me up. You could follow me on Instagram, even TikTok at Alejandro Cuts Hair. Go check out my work. And yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. Okay, so now we slapped the number 1 guard, and again, we're going to be going up half an inch, flicking out at the top. And we're flicking out again because we want to easily transition onto our next number, or this case, our next level, which is going to be the 1 guard with the level wide open, and then onto our number 2 will be our next after that. At this point, I switched on to the 1.5, which is basically the number 1 guard with the lever wide open. A big secret to getting a proper blend isn't so much to stick to a system, kind of like I'm telling you, where it's like, focus on 1/2 inch on each layer. Not necessarily. You kind of have to go by your client's head shape, because some of us will have dips on our heads, and at that point you sometimes you'll use a lower number at a certain area. Let's say, for example, if there's an area where if you do a 1/2 guard on there, it'll actually seem darker, but to get it even with the rest, you probably might have to jump down 1/4 of the lever, and just to make it even with the rest, if that makes any sense. Now we will switch to the number 2 guard. Let's get it. Again, we're going to be messing with the lever, starting with the lever closed, and then we're going to open it and work our way between the middle numbers, the middle increments, until we get what we like. And again, I'm going to say this until I burn it in your guys' brain. We are flicking out at the very top, keeping it tapered so that we don't have to put any extra effort to blend it out. That way it could just be an easy transition when we move on forward with a different layer. Let me give you guys another good piece of advice. Sometimes it helps to use the corner of your clippers, especially when you're dealing with somebody with thick hair. A lot of times, let's say if we try to use a whole blade, our clippers might slow down. So make sure to use the corner of the blade to cut just a bit of hair at a time. A lot of times we've also noticed that that area where I'm cutting right now in the back, 9 times out of 10, that area is so much thicker than the rest of the head. Happy New Year's, guys. I hope everybody had a blast in the holidays. If not, I hope everybody, made it safe. But I want to ask a question. How many of you guys have any New Year resolutions, whether it be barber related, health, fitness related, or whatever it may be? I like to share one of them. I'm actually planning on reading a book a week. Another resolution, which is kind of embarrassing. So I am Mexican. I speak Spanish, but I kind of stopped progressing after 2nd grade. So I can't really say I'm fluent, but this one goes along with reading books. I want to be fluent by the end of this year, guys. So yeah, that's another one of my goals. Hopefully in the future I can drop some tutorials in Spanish for you guys. How's that sound? So back to the video, I switched to my 1.5 guard, and I'm just going back, touching on some areas that I see, just like an artist. At this point, I'm not really focusing on creating any layers, but I am just kind of peeping around, seeing if I see any dark areas. I'm also going to do the clipper over comb method just to get those hairs sticking down the back. If you haven't mastered this method, I highly recommend it, because to be honest, guys, if you master this clipper over comb, you can do the whole haircut with just, literally your clipper and the comb. You don't need guards. You really don't. At this point, I have the 1/2 guard on, and we're just going back, and we're getting rid of those little lines at the bottom and making the blend look flawless. Again, we're just getting rid of any minor imperfections at this point. Now go ahead and grab your balding clippers or your trimmers, and then we're going to take care of the bottom. And again, we're going to taper. We're going to taper right under where we did that 0 line with the wall clippers. We're just blending into that beautiful blend that we have going on. At this point, we want to make sure that we take off as much hair as possible because we are going to use the shavers right after. So let's brush off the hair. We're going to do our line up while we're at it. Since we have our trimmers, save some time and get all the work that you need to get done with them. As we're trimming with our trimmers, make sure we're brushing between strokes so we can fully see if we miss any patches. We want it to be, again, just fully naked. Get it nice and prepared for the shavers. Be careful when using the shavers because we want to blend. We do not want to create any further lines, especially with the shaver, because it will be difficult to get rid of them. But make sure to flick out at the top, and if need be, go back to the balding clippers and take out any created lines. Take your time. Again, don't rush. Everything comes with patience. I'm still not perfect with this. I don't think anybody really is. Make sure to leave yourself time at the end of the haircut to go back and do any touch-up. That's another big tip, is to leave yourself time at the end of the haircut. And now if you want to make your haircut that much better, grab a pair of scissors and start to cut all the scragglies off at the top that you see. All the way around. Shape it up. Now grab your liners. We're going to start right at the middle and work our way out. I like to use a fine tooth comb because it helps to just clean out the surface after I cut. Picks up all those little hairs, so I know what I'm doing. We're going to go back to the middle and then work our way to the right side. And again, you want to comb between every stroke. Comb it out, cut it. Going back to the middle, making sure everything's even before we use a straight razor. Before we shave, we want to make sure we add some sort of shaving product, because when we shave, naturally we take off a dead skin layer, but we don't want to take too much off. And that's how skin gets really irritated. In this video, I'm using a shaving gel by Elegance. I highly recommend it. I love this product. Make sure you pull back on the skin, opposite of the direction that you're shaving. I like to comb just to get rid of the loose hair. To get an even sharper lineup, you want to shave against the grain, but be careful because some people do have sensitive skin and this may not be an option for them. So that is pretty much the end of my presentation in this video. I appreciate you guys watching and I hope you guys learned something new. So here's the final product. We did a bald mid fade with a 5 on top. If you guys liked the video, make sure to like the video, share it, give it to your buddies if you find it helpful. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any recommendations, drop them down in the comment section below and I would make sure to get to them.